So today I'm going to show you how I built a paywall in Base 44 without writing code. Now, if you're creating um, digital products, um, courses, memberships, or even premium content, this is one of the fastest ways to start charging for your expertise. So by the end of this live, you'll understand the whole process and hopefully feel confident enough to build on your own. Now, what I would say is that if you're a business owner watching this and you're thinking, this looks great, but I'd rather have someone build it for me, then that's exactly what I help businesses to do. I build custom AI apps, customer portals, and business solutions. So keep watching because you'll see how straightforward it can be. Okay. Now, yeah. Sorry, I think my cat wants to introduce himself and wants to join in the build, but not today, Blue. Okay. So the interface. So I've used Base 44, I've used Lovable, I've used others, but because I created the paywall in Base 44, I want to show you what's actually happening there. It's very similar because they're all AI agents. So let me just log in and then I will be sharing my screen. Remember, if you want to ask questions after the live, please put it in the comments and I will get back to you. But it's so important that, hold on, let me see if I can log in. Yeah, it's so important that you have a bit of a roadmap and a bit of an understanding so that you don't use excess credits and have to pay for more than is absolutely required. Okay. And this is sometimes where people kind of give up after a while because they're paying for credits after credits. And oftentimes that's simply a matter of you not giving the correct prompts. So, yeah, that's, or over prompting, could they say. And then you get this bulky code that you're not even sure how, how am I going to deal with this now? So, let me just try and, there's, you're still here? You're still here? Lovely. I'm just here right now trying to open up the other screen. That's it. Go. So I'm just going to have two screens, going to have you and... So what I did, I created a launchpad, which is a framework that simplifies, how you would go about launching, your business online. Apologies. Let's have a little sassy cat here right now. Yeah. And I'm trying to get the code so you can see it. Preview. So, because I've got too small a screen, I need to open it up. So, let me just see. So you should be able to see the launchpad, the AI launchpad, where people will go through a clarity sprint, launch sprint, etc., and then join the school community, the WhatsApp group. So all of these are already built in. So I'm going into the chat now. And what should happen in the chat, let me make it wider because I think that's what it needs on the screen. Yeah. So you will see here, this is the app on the right hand side. I don't know if you could see my cursor. This is the app and how it's all built out. On the left here now is the code and conversation that we had. Now, one of these things that I did is I made sure I checked out my security and my paywall. I gave the paywall conditions when it should actually activate. So it also added a 3-day free trial. And this is where I went in and I included in the conversation the URLs. I asked it what it was doing. I asked it for information with regards to security, how secure is it? And I also had to give it API keys, etc. Just to make sure that I had the correct levels of security going forward for my customers. Now, okay, I'm here. Okay, since we all like to see it. Here we go. Here is the cat that is vying for your attentions. You're on the screen now. Say hello. Say hello, Blue. But he's also trying to like me. Yeah, so anyway, less about the cat, more about you. So you've seen some of my back end, and because it's already built, I can't go in there and start messing around with the code. But one thing that I always say is that the beauty of a no code AI development is speed. So instead of waiting months for software, you can often have a working prototype in days. Why do I say days and not minutes? You could have it in minutes, but you will find that there are things to tweak. Then you'll have to do some research, add some more things. So it's over a period of time. I had the front end, but in the back end, there are things that you need to either add, you need to correct, you need to smooth out. There are so many things that would need to be done. So I am trying to help business owners to understand that you don't just start by asking, can you build an app? Start asking, what business problem am I trying to solve? Now, you could do that in something like ChatGPT or wherever, identifying your skills. And this is where you do the whole clarity. Or you could always join my app, which has an AI bot within it that helps you all the way through and it tracks where you're going and checks off what you've done so far. So have that conversation. And this is a conversation I have with clients before we write a single line, or in this case, generate a single screen. So creating the paywall, there's not very much manual work from you. So you would ask the AI agent to create a paywall and ask them, what information do you need from me? And a paywall, just so that you know, it's a financial kind of processing app like Stripe that is connected to your AI that takes payments for whatever the services that you're offering, yeah, or the session. Now, if you're on YouTube later, drop a comment telling me what kind of app you'd like to build. I read every comment, and sometimes those ideas become future tutorials. So it's really important to find out. So Stripe or any other payment integration. So you don't need a 30,000 custom app. What you may need at the end of building your MVP, which is your minimal viable product, is that you may need to have it checked for security, etc. And if you want to scale and use it further, you may need it audited to add it to the back end, or embed it within your website, etc. Add SEO and yeah, add other things that are more technical beyond just, can you write me an app that takes money from clients for for a job. So so the MVP really proves the idea first. And when you get people using it, you might actually get clients saying, well, I would like this option, or I would like that option, or can you include? And this helps you to build on it so that you can have a real working system long term. So test the user journey. Show someone, signing up or subscribing, show restricted content, and explain the user experience. So I would show you somebody subscribing. When they come to my app, they have to put in their email and a password. In this particular app, I have told it, do not allow the user to go through every single step, because the person will get lost in the whole process of the launch. So if they're doing the clarity sprint, just get clear with your offer. But what it does include, it includes an AI agent or bot that helps them. And then as they finish that particular section, they then move on to the next one. You have to tick off everything. And then the user experience allows them, outside of all of those modules, to be able to talk to the bot still. So there's always a constant engagement, constant conversation going on. Now, the other thing, if it saves you a few hours, I would suggest subscribe here on Substack. Now, the paid Substack users will get actual, what would I say? An actual build. They will see and they will get the nitty-gritties. Also, those who join the school program. So when you subscribe, I'll tell you where all the communities are, etc. Well, we've got one community, main community on school. We also have a Facebook, but school is where it will be happening. So every week for the month of August, on a Tuesday, 9 p.m, I'm going to change that to 9:30 p.m. I'll share practical AI app building tutorials. So it will help you to build faster. So don't miss it. Make sure you're here. So common mistakes. So when building apps, people use a poor pricing plan. There's no onboarding, weak user experience, and no value before the paywall. So you might even have to do an upsell, not an upsell, convince your user to purchase. So not straight into the app and pay. You may want them to have a bit of a taster first, a feel, a play around, give them a 3-hour, a 1-day trial, 24, 3-day trial. I give a 3-day trial. And then, the app speaks to them and wins customers. So The technology isn't usually what makes an app successful. It it's solving the right problem that makes it successful. So that's why I spend more time understanding a business than talking about code. And this is the same thing I did as a developer, learning and design developer for banks, for insurance companies. You have to take time to understand the customer, the end user who's going to use it, and identify the gap. So you're solving a problem rather than giving them something new to learn that they kind of don't really want or care for. Yeah. So the next session I will be looking at further building opportunities. And if you found this useful, so today it was, this morning I did a bit more, but I didn't share the screen. But it was a whistle stop tour today, and I cannot share publicly my code, and that's another thing. You got in security, when you build code in an app, you have to make sure you turn off the um, public button. It's not really a button, but you must turn off the opportunity for others to just steal your code and just rebuild your app. So that is really important. So thank you for watching. If you found it useful, I know it was a whistle stop, but we're going to do more every week. So you can learn alongside me. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. So if you'd like me to build one for your business, or simply want advice on whether it's worth building, leave me a comment with the word APP. Okay, and send me a message or connect with me through the app that you are using, because I know this video is going to various places. There will be links that will allow you to connect with me, or just go to calendly.com/Janice Where's I'll put it in the message, calendly.com/Janice Where's and you can book a slot and we can have a conversation. Okay. So if you're watching the replay on YouTube, let me know in the comments what business you're in, and I will choose viewer ideas for future live builds. So your suggestion could be the next tutorial. So we've got 3 more in August, and after August, I will move on to doing other things. What I will do before I go is I want to show you Lovable. So Lovable is something I really enjoyed using. And let me see if I could log in. This is unscripted, and this is something I really wanted to share with you. What I want to do is, sorry, there's a lot of noise outside. Don't open Lovable. Not sure why it's not opening. There we go. And that's another thing with these apps. If you go onto Google, you'll see the name of the app, pricing, settings, all that kind of thing, but you can't actually log in. So it might be a .dev website that you need to use to develop the app. So let me go to, I'm trying to go to this one. So let me see if I can create for you a quick app that you can see. So I'm waiting to share the screen. I'm sorry if the there we go. All projects. So this is, let me just share the screen. Projects. So you can see what Lovable looks like. So I didn't have any apps in this one. Okay, so let me just start a build. Okay. Can you create a landing page to sell my digital product? How to start a food business from home and add a paywall using a CTA button. Make the color scheme yellow, white, and purple. Lettering. All right. So this is us live building. So this is the start of an app. And as you will see, it's going to take its time thinking. But as you will see, there's always something that you may need to add and you may need to tweak. So here we go. So it's creating images that it would like to use. Yeah. It's creating images that it would like to use. And if you wanted it to notify you when certain aspects were completed, you can enable them here. Yeah. So hold on. Let me just see. Let me have a look. So can you see it working here in the background? So this is what your credits are doing. It's thinking, it's creating certain parts of your app. Why are cats always busy when you're on a live? I just don't understand it. That's it. So it's working. So if I were to enable, then more than likely it will probably send it to my email or to my telephone, my mobile, sorry, or cell. Landing page renders, so you know how it's going to look. Now I've already created this app, but it's great to see another version. So if I can hide this now, let me just, here is the app in question. So I would obviously, I'd have to change this from kitchen table business to whatever the name of my business is and add the app. That is why I'm saying plan before you start. Give it a Word document. So the last one I did, I had a long Word document, 2 pages, which had all the information that was needed. It had the name of the brand, etc., etc. So when it built it the first time, there was not an excessive amount of credits required. So this is just a landing page. This is an MVP, a minimal viable product. Yeah. And this is built for desktop view. This is the desktop view. Now this one I've changed to is the mobile view, so I can see, and that's something nice that Lovable does. I can see what it would look like on a mobile phone. Yeah. So to unlock the full guide, there it is. So what I now need to do is I need to give Lovable, the details for the paywall. So, okay. So I will now go back to it and I would say, tell me what you need for the paywall and using, using so I've told it to tell me what it needs for the paywall using Stripe. So I'll be using Stripe. So here it is thinking. So you can see that although you can build in minutes, you do need to add more things. So there you go. It tells you exactly what you need. It's saying what it will do. So more often than not, in the app building software, you'd need a pro plan and then a short sign up form that it will build. So you'll need API keys, URLs, etc. So it's not just build quick, let's go. This only happens if you do the planning before, you have all the documentation, you put it all in a long Word document, and it has all the information to go forward and just build it completely. But like anything else, some of these things need a bit more time, need a bit more tweaking, and this is where people sometimes give up because they think, right, this is too much for me, which is why I always say, if you'd like me to partner with you to get this done, let me know and let's have a conversation so that we can take you through the planning process and get you to the point of building something successful that you can use and that your users will be able to patronize and take up your offers. Okay, so if there are any questions, please remember APP is what you will type to get that conversation going. And let's get you started. Let's get it started. Anyway, we're not here to sing. That will be another Substack. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you next week. It will be 9:30 from now on to avoid these late starts, 9:30. Okay? Take care. Bye for now. Jan, the AI app coach.